Good evening, children. The chapter The Resource and Development. In this chapter, the next topic is land use pattern in India. So, the land use pattern in India is determined by two factors, physical factors and the human factors. So, the physical factors include topography, climate, soil type. Topography, that is the land form, what are the kind of land they have, the area have. So that means if it is a plain land, the pattern of land use will be different than the terrain, rough terrain or the hilly area. Climate, if it is a hot climate, arid area, the semi-arid area, that means um, water scarcity of water is there. So in such way, it depends on that climate also. If it is a cold place or climate, rainfall is good rainfall they get, so usage of the land will be different. Soil types: land, alluvial land, that is fertile land, loamy soil, clayey soil. So all these types of soil also depend on how the land will be utilized, what will be the pattern of the land usage. The second factor is human factor, that is density of human being, that is how many the density of the human being, how much the density of the human being is there. Technological capability, if the area is well developed in technology, the land usage pattern will be different than the area which has less technological development. Culture and tradition, so what kind of tradition is there? If all maximum people in a particular village are farmers, that is the culture and tradition of that area, so it depends on, so everybody will go for the cultivation purpose, so that will depends on the land use pattern in of that area. Okay. Land use distribution in India, out of total geographical area is 3.28 million square kilometer, but only 3.06 million square kilometer is used. So what about the remaining part? This remaining part includes the northeast states of India, except Assam, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland, um, Meghalaya, Tripura. Okay, so all these places, they were not reported or surveyed in what way their areas are used, and the areas which are occupied by Pakistan and China in Jammu and Kashmir, these areas are also not surveyed. Permanent pasture has decreased. Okay, pasture land has decreased. So this is land distribution I'm talking. Current fallow land loses its fertility because continuous usage of land, that fallow land, that last topic we had, that what is fallow land, which is continuously we um grow the crop there, so that loses its fertility. Net shown area varies from one state to another. So if we see that, when we see that in a year, uh, in a agricultural year, 2-3 times land is cultivated, that is net shown area, gross shown areas. These areas, this kind of areas, that means alluvial soil or fertile soil, is not in all the states equally. Okay, it varies state to state. So maximum land area you will get deltaic, Ganga deltaic plain. So like Uttar Pradesh, um, Punjab, part of Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Bihar, West Bengal, part of this you will get this. And if you come down to South India, many places are rocky, arid and non-fertile land. forest area in the country is lower than the desired percentage. So what 33% of forest is desired in India. We should have 33% of the total geographical area, but we have less than that. Wasteland has not utilized properly. So wasteland, that is, as you see, that where we cannot make it, it is not fit for agriculture. So these areas are not utilized for any other purpose also. And continuous usage of land for non-agricultural purpose leads to land degradation. So when this lands some lands are not utilized are agricultural purpose. They are utilized for making buildings, factories, roadways, railways, so and so many other things, dumping the garbage. So these all lands are these all factors leads to land degradation. So we will see the reasons of land degradation. First is mining. The mining sites are abandoned after excavation work is over. The excavation work leaves deep scar and the material which degrades the soil. So you can see the picture. Land is mined, and after that, this land become useless. After the mine excavation is over, it takes it makes a deep hole, and to recover it takes long year. So it leads to land degradation. Next is overgrazing. So if you see, the overgrazing means that when the pasture land, when the cattle comes and eat the grasses, okay, that removal of grasses make this land loose, because the root of grass hold this soil tightly. When they eat it, the root dies. These roots, because this when even the small grasses, these cattle eat from the root, they uproot the grasses. So what happened, this make the soil loose, and it is very easy for the wind or water to remove the soil. Okay. Next is waterlogging. Over irrigation of land is also leads to land degradation. You see in this photo, you see the lots of water is given on this land which is not required. And when the water logging increased, the salinity and the alkalinity in soil increase, and it make the land unfit for cultivation. You see, the land, we know that less water is also harmful for cultivation, and over water also, over irrigation also, you see the salt over the soil. So salinity that increase the soil of the increase the soil in the soil. So it become unfit for cultivation. Industrialization, that we all know, the industrial waste thrown on the land or in the water, it leads to the land degradation. You see in the picture that all the industrial waste is dumped behind the industries, sometimes on the river, sometimes in outskirts of the city. So it leads to land degradation because of the poisonous waste from the industries lead to land degradation. So what are the solution? The conservation measures. So maximum we can plant the trees. So afforestation should be encouraged. That is why nowadays, every time, everywhere, in small attempt, big attempt, every time everybody is taking this as a challenge, or sometimes they are taking it as a good deed, that plant a tree. Sometimes people are nowadays, there is a trend, there is a fashion that gifting small plant to each other in their birthday or their parties to plant the tree. So this has become a fashion, this has become a trend, and this has become a responsibility as citizens. So afforestation should be encouraged. Next is proper management of grazing. So grazing should be, and the next point also, control on grazing. These two. So see, animal need to eat the grass. The cattle need to go for grazing, but how to manage it? It should be, the grass should be grown little big, and then only they should eat it. Then if it is, if it is shows that the grass is going to over on that area, it is going to blunt in that area, that cattle should not be sent in that area. The seeds of grasses should be spread and let it, and leave them to grow. So then only grass will grow, and then again the cattle can come and graze there. So proper management of the, so one area, if it is grazing is over, we should leave it for few months or few years to grow the grass, and then the cattle can come back and graze there. So planting of shelter belt of plants. uh, if you see in the agricultural land, there is a small belt where the trees are grown. So these trees also help to reduce the soil erosion, and it gives the shelter to that area. And this or you can see the uh, along with the road, the trees are planted. So these trees, when it grows, it gives shelter to the roads even. So that shelter belt of plant should be grown. Stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes. So in a desert area, the soil erosion is very high because of loose soil. So the thorny bush, and we know that in desert thorny bushes are grown only. So there, these bushes, this also, these bushes, or these thorny bushes can, they have deep root. So this also hold the soil tightly, soil tightly, and reduce the sand dunes, reduce the soil erosion in the arid or semi-arid area. Proper management of wasteland. Wasteland should be utilized properly. The government should make a plan to build roads or some factories, or yes, even for the, or dumping the garbage of the towns in the wasteland. So in this way, at least this wasteland can be utilized, and this garbage should be reused. The garbages should be reused there, recycled there. So in this way, this wasteland can be utilized. Control of mining activity. Of course, mining is very necessary, but the deep control, in um, many places, mining sites in India, like Dhanwad, Jhadia, Jhakaho, these places, um, the coal mine areas, they, what happened, the mine has so immense that they made the land hollow inside the earth. And what happened, suddenly, even the residential areas, they experienced the landslides. There was a report, it was in 3-4 years back, that two students were playing on the ground, normal ground, and suddenly the landslide in the normal playing ground, and these two small children, they went inside and they died. So control of that, it should be under, the government should take initiative that mining work should be under the control of the government, because in the mining areas there are so many antisocial people who extract the minerals illegally. So mainly they are not following the legal way of mining. Now, next is proper discharge and disposal of industrial waste. As I said, waste land can be utilized for discharge and disposal of industrial waste. So it is not only dumping of the waste, it should be like these waste should be, which is biodegradable, which is non biodegradable, should be separated, then they can be reused, recycled, and this way they should do that. And which they should first see that any garbage with chemical component, chemical material should not be thrown on the land or water. Next is moisture conservation and weed controls. So sometimes what happen, the straws, straws, after the paddy we take out the rice, the the strings are there, that is called straws, which even the cattle eats. These straws are spread over the soil, okay, and then water poured on that. These soils become wet, and this gives the moisture to the soil. So slowly they gather the moisture from this straw. So in this way moisture conservation and weed controls are there. Okay, so thank you. This is the end of today's topic. So all of you stay home, stay safe, and bye.